Welcome to Man of Mayhem, where spells fly, trivia tangles your brain,
and the only rule is absolute chaos. Let's play.
Welcome in, everyone, to the first ever episode of Magic Mayhem, an MTG-based trivia game where it's not so serious. The only serious thing is that I already fucked up the recording the first time. So we're going to get it right this time, and we're going to go through and introduce our contestants. Contestant number one, give us your name and how you got into Magic the Gathering. You only did this one other time. Let's get it right this time.
My name's Mike. I got into Magic by playing Commander a little over 2 years ago. But in the last 6 months or so, I've been focused mainly on trying to get better at competitive constructed formats. And before you ask, again, it's not going very well.
I apologize. The egg is on my face. Let's go to contestant number two. Give us your introduction one more time. How you get in Magic? What's your name?
Hey, Tom. I'm Chris. Did you remember to unmute our lines this time?
I did. You guys should be good. I'm seeing it populate colors on the audio mixer, so we're good.
Oh, good. So I got my first Magic cards in 1997. Cousin, they dumped their bulk on me. Put it down for almost 25 years, and Mike got in Commander. I'm one of the people that Mike roped in. Mike messaged me one day, and he said, "Hey, do you know what Magic is?" And I responded, "Oh, you mean Magic the Gathering?" And we've been playing a lot of Magic ever since.
Nice. Awesome. For those who don't know, this is my local play group. We play a lot of Commander together. Mike is trying to drag us into Pauper now, which is super fun, and hopefully saves us some money. Let's introduce contestant number 3.
My name is Sam, aka the Mono White Monster, aka Mr. Farewell and Scoop, aka I Love Norn. I got into Magic the Gathering back when I was in college. I had some roommates that were getting into it, and it basically devolved into an arms race. And that set was the original Innistrad block, and that gothic horror theme is my jam, so it kind of hooked me for life.
Yeah, I feel like that was a lot of people's first block, and it's just like everyone's trying to chase that nostalgia. And they grabbed us in with 2 terrible sets that everyone still bought.
I was just the right age, had some money of my own, somewhat being a poor college student, and I chose the terrible financial decision of buying Magic cards over meals sometimes. So
Don't lie, you gave blood and
not that one, but you know.
You got kids running around places we don't know. All right, everyone, let me run through the rules here. We've got 3 rounds. First round is straight up Magic the Gathering questions, pretty simple ones. And each one of you is going to get 2 of those questions. We're going to move on to round 2. It's a little bit more opinionated, and everyone's going to get a chance at every question. And really, the only person who decides who gets points is me, so we're gonna have fun with it. And then round 3 is pretty unhinged. We're gonna have a good time, but ultimately this isn't serious. The points don't mean anything, just bragging rights within our own play group, and hopefully on the internet. But I do want to give you guys a little bit of a sideboard, and I call it sideboard because these are things you can do throughout the game. So there's 3 options. First one is called Lightning Bolt, and that you can choose a character or player and take 1 point away from any player at any time. Now you only get to use 2 of these, or one of these things 2 times. Say that again.
You got to take 1 point or 3 points away.
1 point away. 3 points is a lot in this game. And then we have another one. The second one you can choose is called Fog. And Fog basically prevents all point loss. So if you answer a question wrong, or I'm about to take a point away for a dumb answer that I don't like, you can Fog. So again, you can use one of these once, one of them twice, whatever you want to do, but you get 2 uses of your sideboard. And then the third use of your sideboard is called Ackchyually, and you have to start off by saying that. And basically, you just have to make an argument either proving someone wrong or giving your strong opinion. Points can be earned, but cannot be lost. So you can't lose a point for doing this sideboard. Now, everyone votes on whether or not your argument or point is right. I get 2 votes, and the other players get 1 vote. So both of those players basically have to vote together to surpass me. Their votes count as 1.5, mine will count as 2, and then we'll go that way. But you're trying to appeal to everyone here.
So to understand this, Lightning Bolt and Fog We can use 2 lightning bolts, 2 fogs, and 1 of
You
each.
can use 2 lightning bolts and nothing else. You only get 2 uses of your sideboard.
But the actually is just fair game. Whenever we want to actually.
No,
We can
actually is part of the 2. So there's 3 sideboard choices you get. You can use 2 of them
Okay.
or 2 of the same ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, like, you can use an actually through the game and a fog, or you can use 2 lightning bolts or 2 fogs or 2 actuallys, but you can only use 2 throughout the whole game.
Okay.
All
I'm
right, cool.
prepared. I'm fucking ready for
I
this.
took notes. So watch out.
All right, rock on. So we're gonna dive in to round 1, and we'll start. Mike, you're gonna start off. You're player 1, so you're gonna get the first question here, and that is, what is the maximum number of cards allowed in a standard Magic the Gathering deck, excluding basic lands? 40, 60, 100, or there is no maximum.
A maximum number of cards allowed in a standard. Does that mean standard format, or what does?
Right, Mr.
I mean,
Lawyer, you
the
don't have to
answer is there is
question the
no
question.
maximum, but I'm wondering if it couldn't be better worded.
It probably could be better worded, but what is your
I think
answer?
I think it's a trick
There is
question.
no maximum.
And that
No, I think
is correct. There is no
Commander
maximum.
is a WotC managed format, and Commander is a 100 card maximum.
We're talking about
So
standard
there are
deck.
2
Wait.
correct answers depending on the format.
Chris, are you using your actually on
Yeah,
the game host
Yeah.
right
Oh,
now?
this sounds like an actually.
Is that what you're doing?
Is that what you're doing?
This is an actually. You can choose to
Hey,
use it or not.
spoiler alert!
That's
I'm
true.
never gonna vote for Chris. Sorry.
I mean,
Mike
Sam,
was-
unless you save me here and tell me that you can have more than 100 cards in your Commander deck, but I thought that it was exactly 100. You can run 1,000 cards in a Commander deck?
Sure.
We're gonna let this slide as an actually
didn't say the
sideboard
word.
usage, but
I didn't
this is
say the word.
technically one of those usages right here.
I didn't say the word.
Ding. No, if Chris is down 1. Noted.
In the future, we're gonna be harsher on points. All right, we're gonna move on to the
Yeah,
next
well,
question.
we do
Chris, you are up. Which of the following is not one of the 5 colors of mana in Magic the Gathering? Red, blue,
Purple.
purple, or green? Oh wow, not even waiting. All right, correct answer is purple. I know they use it all the time, but it's not. It's annoying. It's probably the most annoying thing ever, how black mana is portrayed as purple.
Well, it's like how white comes across as yellow and everything.
Yeah.
It's just
And I'm
It's just dumb.
I'm a white and black truther. I don't stand for the purple and yellow bullshit
Same,
that they try to
same.
push on you.
Give me the classic colors. All right, Sam, you are up, and your question is, what is the name of the first Magic the Gathering expansion set? Is it
Expansion set.
Alpha, Beta, Arabian Night, or Legends?
Dude, I honestly probably don't know this, but I'm gonna go beta because you said expansion set.
So that is
Wrong.
incorrect. The correct answer is
Arabian
Arabian
Nights, dude.
Nights. The first expansion set of Magic the Gathering, released in December of 1993. Alpha and Beta were original core sets, not expansions.
See, I knew it was gonna be something tricky like that.
Tricky.
No shame in getting that one wrong.
No shame
I
in
think
getting
there's
that
a
one
reason
wrong.
I was player 2 and Sam was player 3 here. I'm just saying. I think Dom wrote the question to the player strength.
I actually didn't know which way you guys would be sitting. To be honest with you, I told you I had no idea if the cameras would line up when we got in here. So the fact that it lined up that way is just sorry.
That is
I saw
Alright.
somebody say recently that Arabian Nights was also the first Universes Beyond set because Arabian Nights is its own property. It's its own book.
It
and
is
everything.
technically Universes Beyond. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
good.
Actually, people that are arguing against all this, these new sets, are in the wrong. They're the newcomers to Magic the Gathering.
All right, Mike, next question. What is the term for a card that remains on the battlefield after being played?
Permanent.
Damn, too quick. Very nice. That is a point for you. Good answer.
You got to get up pretty early in the morning to get one past old Curry. Let me tell you.
Someone's been playing a lot. Not winning, though. All right, which Planeswalker is known as the Mind Sculptor? Liliana Vess, Jace Beleren, Chandra Nalaar, or Garruk Wildspeaker?
I can narrow it down, hopefully, I think, to one of the first two, because with Chandra,
Do you know
with
the other two?
flames and what?
Do you know the other two?
Well, no, I mean, I recognize all four of them.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think, like, how they would align into Mind Sculptor.
Are you just putting on for this?
I feel
show,
like
or
he's
you
putting
really
on for
don't
the
know?
show.
So am I. So do I.
No, like I don't want to sound stupid here. I don't actually know the answer to this.
Chris,
I don't.
I don't think
Have
Chris
you ever
runs
heard
any
of the
Planeswalker.
card?
I don't think
Blank, the Mind Sculptor.
So it must be Jace.
Correct answer is Jace the Mind Sculptor. Alrighty. Hopefully we got you an easy one here. What is a term for a deck that wins by forcing the opponent to run out of cards in their library? Aggro, control, mill, or combo?
It's one of my least favorite ways to lose. That is mill.
Alrighty. We got you on the board.
Tom,
that-
you milled me. You milled me in Commander that one time. Do you remember that?
I'll never forget that. So, do you want to tell? I'll let you run with this story.
I don't even remember really what you were playing or what the cards were. I just remember that I was completely out of lands, and you played whatever card was like certain. Like I had to turn over my library until I ran into a land, and I was full out. And
It was like 4 lands or mill till you hit the 4th land, and you were totally out of lands. That was a Hail Mary to win that game. Alrighty, that is the end of round 1. Nobody has used any of their sideboards yet. We're going to move on to round 2. Now, round 2, again, is everyone gets a chance to answer. And basically, it's opinionated. You have to explain your answer and why you're choosing it. There is a right answer, but if I like your answer, you're getting a point. If I don't like your answer, you're losing a point. You can lose points in this round.
So I just want to stay quiet because you're not going to like anything that I say.
Well, everyone gets a chance at answering. So, alrighty, question 1. Which Magic the Gathering creature type is most likely to ruin your picnic? Elves, goblins, squirrels, or dragons? Curry.
I don't think this is particularly close. If a dragon joins your picnic, you're not having a good time. Unless the only caveat I'll add is unless we're talking about the dragon from Shrek, who the donkey, and they seem like a good time. Maybe that would be the one exception to the dragon rule, but I'm not, elves aren't concerned with my picnics. Squirrels, I can fend them off. Goblins a little more problematic, but a dragon, like, what am I going to do? Like, I might be able to fight off a goblin. I'm not going to be able to handle a dragon. So dragon, obviously, worst creature type to ruin your picnic.
All right, Curry. I like that answer, and I also like your answer about the Shrek dragon. I'm going to give you 2 points for that. Bump you up to 4. All right, Chris. What is your answer to this?
So I'm trying to think through the metagaming of what you're doing here. Vaguely remember that there's a card about a creature type that steals your picnic. It's like something picnic, and I'm pretty sure it's goblins. And so I think that the correct answer is goblins.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, my final answer is that it would be goblin because there's a card about goblins.
If you could pull up that card, I will give you a point for that. Otherwise, you're losing a point. And I'll explain why in a sec. Sam, what is your answer?
Hang on, I want to use my lightning bolt. I want to take another point away from Chris.
He hasn't lost one yet, but we're going to lightning bolt.
Can I share my screen, Dom, or do you want me to just like send you the Scryfall?
You send it to me. You send it to me and send it a direct text to me, and I'll look at it. I got my phone. But Curry has lightning bolt at you, and you could choose to fog yourself now or take that damage.
I just DM'd you the card, Dom. You know what? I'm gonna let Curry have his lightning bolt. But yeah, there's a Wilds of Eldraine adventure card called Picnic Ruiner. It's a goblin rogue creature type. The adventure is a sorcery called Stolen Goodies in green. And that came to my mind when this question was asked.
There
It's
we
on the
go,
screen.
everyone.
Dom.
There we go.
So I'll
There
take
you
my
go.
loss.
You're gonna take your
But
loss, and then
I'll feel good
because
about it.
because one, I was gonna give you a wrong answer for that. You're getting 2 because you sent the actual card, baby. Up to 3. All right, Sam, you
I
got
got
to
lightning
impress.
points, so I
We
don't-
got 2 good
if I
answers
lose a
there.
point. Oh, you already counted
did,
the loss.
yep.
Okay. Okay.
So here's the deal. It's the answer is obviously goblins, but not for the reason that Chris gave, and it's definitely to the detriment of Mike's answer, right? So first of all, dragons don't care about picnics. They're too big, too ancient, too old to care about some picnic where there's not even gold involved at all.
They're greedy.
Oh yeah, greedy for your peanut butter and jelly, Mike. You make a
Oh.
mean peanut butter and jelly there, Mike?
It's a cash grab. It's
No.
a cash grab.
Yeah, no way, dude. No way. So dragons are off the table just because they are too high and mighty to be interested in your damn picnic, Mike. Squirrels, I do agree with Mike there. They're just a nuisance. They're gonna get into things, but they're kind of cute, atmospheric. And then elves, if anything, they're just enjoying the PR for keeping the forests alive for your picnic, right? So goblins are where it's at. They are annoying. They're out to just get you. They don't care why. They're just out to ruin your fun. And they're willing to sacrifice themselves to make sure you don't have a good time.
I'm gonna stop you there. I got a couple things here. First one, because you countered Mike's answer with a very reasonable answer. I'm sorry, Mike, you're gonna lose a point on that. And Sam, you are gonna get 2. Everyone's even at 3. We had some great explanations. Chris, you almost ended up at 0, but turn it around with actually showing the card. This game can swing. All right, let's move on to the next one. What happens if you cast Counterspell on your friend's birthday cake? Cake disappears, the candles explode, the frosting turns blue, or nothing because cakes aren't spells. Mike, go ahead. Remember, there is a right answer, and there are wrong answers.
Wait, you didn't tell us what the right answer was to the previous question, then.
It was goblins.
Screw you, Mike. We got it.
So
You're wrong.
I was gonna lose points for getting the question right because you just didn't like my answer. Even though I got it right.
There's one person who runs this game, Chris, and there's only one
Understood.
person you need to please.
Understood.
And it's the one
So-
person you tried to actually at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The correct answer isn't listed. Because when you cast Counterspell on a cake, it turns into like a pea casserole or something like that. It turns into something like unappetizing, something that sucks. It doesn't disappear or explode. So none of these answers are correct. It turns into something horrible that nobody wants to eat. And that's what happens when you cast Counterspell on a birthday cake, obviously.
That was a ridiculous answer. I'm just not going to do anything to your points. Chris, what do you have to say about this?
I think if I cast Counterspell on a birthday cake, as the question implies, what happens if I cast Counterspell on a cake? I think
Yes.
the candles will explode
Why?
because I am sure, learning the format of this game and my competition, that I would do something incorrectly in this act, and therefore the cake would not get countered, but something else would be a mishap, and a logical mishap of what is here is that the candles on the cake would explode.
Before
I
I
think that
do anything
I
with
think-
points, I'm going to move to Sam.
Well, let me just comment. I think that answer reveals how many counter spells Chris plays. So there's that. But the actual correct answer is, despite Mike's metagaming there, the correct answer is that nothing because cakes aren't spells. If anything, cakes are food tokens. And you can't counter food tokens. You can counter a spell that creates food tokens, but you can't create food tokens themselves.
I'm
So
giving you
that
2
is-
points for that. No one else gets a fucking point, though, because those were terrible answers. But Sam
Horrible.
got it right, because the right answer is nothing. They're not spells. It would just fizzle. You can't cast counterspell on a cake. That's a silly. It was an easy one. I don't know how no one else got that. All right.
Definitely an easy one. You caught
On
us.
to the next question. Which Magic the Gathering card would be most useful during a zombie apocalypse? Wrath of God, Raise Dead, Brainstorm, or Lightning Bolt?
Why don't we make Sam go first?
I'm going to make Sam go first. Yes, I was about to say we're going to reverse the order. Sam, you go first here.
I'm just gonna go off my gut here. I think if I'm in a zombie apocalypse, I don't think I'm making it out alive unless I have the Wrath of God to just wipe the board of all of the zombies. Raising the dead. What am I raising the dead to just increase the zombies coming after me? Brainstorm. There are no brains, and the only brains that are left are people that are alive. And Lightning Bolt maybe will take out a few of them, but Wrath of God, I need the whole board wipe of all the zombies.
All
If
right.
there is a,
I'm gonna wait before I reward points again.
if there is a right answer, you totally screwed it up.
Ooh, okay, let's hear this.
Zombies
go-
are dead. They are dead. So if you raise dead, you bring them back to life. They come under your control. So the obvious answer is raise dead.
Chris, what do you got?
Mike got to say it first. Mike has the correct answer. I mean, I was using the exact same logic that Mike was. I mean, Wrath of God is going to destroy all creatures, not just zombies. So you're going to make a bad situation worse and have nothing else left around you.
The Wrath of God, I mean, in game, it's going to kill the zombies. Although, now that we're thinking about it, they probably shouldn't be hit by Wrath of God. They're already dead.
Oh God. Oh God.
Um,
Oh God.
Okay,
Take
let's
that
not turn
away.
this into
Oh,
theology,
we're this
okay?
is
You're out of your depth,
you
Mike.
talk too much. You were getting a point. The correct answer is Wrath of God. Fuck them all, baby. You got to kill everything. You don't make it out in a zombie apocalypse. How many real movies are out there about zombie apocalypse? It's not a fun time. So Mike, you don't
There's
get any
a lot
points.
out there, Tom. There's a lot. Like people usually survive them. Like that's the whole point of those movies. There's always
They're terrible movies.
Yeah.
All right, name a movie for a point that's
It's about
actually
the
decent.
impenetrable
That you
human
feel will be
spirit.
realistic about zombie
later.
apocalypse.
28 weeks later.
Yeah,
28
how good is the
years later,
survival
they're
in that
still
one?
franchise.
How
What?
good is the survival in that one? I'm casting Wrath of God. It's about what I'm doing. I'm ending everything, baby.
That kills you too, then,
28
right?
Yes.
Like,
later franchise. Actually, I would say that the survival rate is roughly 7.2 billion because it only affects the British Isles.
All right, so here's
They
what's going
only
to
have
happen.
quarantine
Chris,
the
I will
British
give you a
Isles, and the rest of
point
the
to
world is
stop you
totally
from
fine.
talking. Sam, you got a point because I'm on the same page as you. All right, Mike, you did bring up a good point. You're up there too. All right, let's move on to the next one.
It was creative. It was creative. Mike.
It was creative. I'll give you that. I won't take it away. But sometimes stop selling when you've already sold. Why do goblins in Magic the Gathering always seem to have bad ideas? They lack intelligence, they think chaos is fun, they're secretly geniuses, or they're just misunderstood. Chris, we're going to start with you so no one gets the answer before you this time.
I'm going to go with number 2. I think that goblins think that chaos is fun. Justification here is like literal, right? Looking at the card art, all the various things that you see, like goblins shooting each other out of cannons, for example, the crazy stuff that they do, swinging around masts of pirate ships, all of the different iterations of goblins over years. I think that there's an air of chaos to them. So I would lean towards they think that chaos is fun.
All right, not going to award points to the end. Let's go to Mike.
what Chris said. I don't care about this question.
All right, Sam, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think they're just misunderstood. And I think that's the real answer because they just go about solving their problems in different ways. And I think that is actually the answer that's secretly behind that they're geniuses because we just don't recognize the fact that they're unique.
Okay, well, you
problem
gotta pick
solvers.
one. You don't get to pick
All right,
all of
all
the
right.
above.
Let me restate the question, and then I'm rewarding points. I don't want to listen to this anymore. Why do goblins in Magic the Gathering seem to have bad idea? And the correct answer is they think chaos is fun. They seem to have bad ideas because they do crazy things. Points to Mike
Too
and
sweet,
Chris.
baby.
Sorry, Sam. You got too into the weeds with it.
Dang it. I wanted
Wait, hold on.
I wanted it
So I
bad.
gave the correct answer first and gave the legitimate explanation, and I get 1 point.
Yeah,
and
but
Mike just says what Chris said.
Yep.
And Mike also gets 1 point.
yeah, it was a great answer.
Bolting Chris. I'm using the other lightning bolt on Chris.
And it's out of sideboard points.
Fuck.
All right, next question. If you could summon one Magic the Gathering creature to help you with chores, which would be the worst choice? Angels, slivers, merfolk, or Kith-Kit? And we'll start with Mike. We'll go back to you first for this one.
I think merfolk. Because like you've got merfolk in your house. I feel like they're just like old Greg. Like they're just dripping with water like everywhere they go, and they're just making an absolute mess. They're not helping you. They're making everything worse. So I'm going with merfolk.
Alrighty, good answer. Chris, what do you got for us?
I really like the old Greg answer. I think that that's pretty solid. I'm going to choose slivers here. Couple of reasons. No thumbs. Big deterrent, no thumbs. I think that a lot of slivers are just absolutely huge. So what was that light, Mike?
I don't know.
There's someone on your deck?
The ghost.
Anyway, so slivers, I think from the size perspective, they're really going to dominate space to be around. Just overall, just generally chaotic creatures. But again, most importantly, no thumbs.
All right, Sam, anything to add?
It's angels, because if I'm thinking about Magic the Gathering creatures, angels, the deal with them is that they kind of go overboard, particularly Avacyn, and so I think you ask them to help with chores, and they end up somehow destroying your house.
All right.
Nerd answer.
The guy that
Correct
plays white.
answer is slivers. But Mike, now that I think about it, I will also give you a point because I don't want water all over my house. Just more work, right? And what can they really do with, like, and then my hardwood floors are wet, they're old, and so they're just going to dilapidate and fall apart. I don't agree with the angels thing. I think having angels cleaning up my house, like Angels in the Outfield, have you ever seen that movie? They were nothing but help, all right?
Those aren't Magic the Gathering angels. Those aren't Magic the Gathering angels.
Yeah, they're Disney angels.
Of
Yeah.
all people,
Which
Dom, if I do this, do you think that you're not going to be able to put this out there because of
Copyright
rights from Disney?
Do you think
Disney's
they've
going to block you?
Do you think they've registered that motion?
who
They're
knows?
just-
If they don't,
Disney
I'm
probably
gonna.
has a trademark. Yeah.
All right, I believe this is the last question in round 2. What's the best way to deal with a planeswalker who won't stop monologuing? Cast silence, challenge them to a duel, offer them snacks, or ask them politely to stop? We'll start with you, Sam.
It's cast silence because asking them politely to stop doesn't work. If it's the type of monologuers I know, offering them snacks won't deter them at all. So casting silence is the way to go.
Right? Good answer. Chris, what do you got?
I would challenge them to a duel, and because we are planeswalkers as well, right? So when it's us versus me as the planeswalker versus Mike as the planeswalker, I think the easiest way to shut Mike up would be to challenge him to a duel. It would shift his focus. There would be turn-based order for how we would get through the situation, and ultimately I'd get to kill Mike. So I would say that is my answer.
Okay.
look, I've always said the best planeswalker is a dead planeswalker. So here's what I'm doing: I'm tapping Krenko. I'm creating an army of gobs. I'm turning them all sideways, and they're all going at that planeswalker. That's how I'm dealing with it.
Well, that wasn't one of the answers you could select from. I appreciate that, but the correct answer is cast silence. If you're challenging someone to a duel, we're already dueling. No one monologues unless you're dueling. All right. Let's move on to round 3. Now,
You gonna give
this
Sam his
round.
points?
Oh, did I not give him the points there?
It was-
There we go. Awesome. All right, so sideboard update. Mike is out of sideboards. 2 lightning bolts to Chris's face. But Chris and Sam, you both have 2 sideboards you can still use. Alrighty, we're gonna move on. First one is goblins versus squirrels. So the object of this one is you guys are going to argue. I gave you ahead of time who you'd be arguing for in these situations. If you don't remember, that stinks. I think it was last week.
What?
If not, Mike, you got goblins. Chris, you
Okay.
got squirrels. And Sam, you get to choose whichever one you want for any of the scenarios.
What?
So I'm going to read some scenarios for you guys, and then I'll let each one of you guys talk and tell me why yours would fit the scenario better and why I should choose goblins or squirrels. The first one is called Office Break Room Takeover. Your company's break room has been overtaken. Would you rather it be run by goblins or squirrels? Are you getting promoted, and what are you doing to earn that promotion? Mike, can you please argue why goblins would be the better choice for the Office Break Room Takeover?
Wait, how does the promotion fit into this?
It's a scenario. You got to tell me why goblins are better than squirrels.
If they're taking over the break room and I'm in line for a promotion at the same time, are these things
Only if
related?
it goes well.
Are these things related, or what'd you say?
So the idea is that if I manage the outbreak of
No,
squirrels,
so in your scenario, goblins have taken over the break room, right? Why is it better than if squirrels took over the break room? And give me scenarios like, what does it look like to earn a promotion with goblins? What are you doing
Where
to
do you
capitalize
work
on this
where
situation?
break room has an attendant who like does things for you in your break room? Like what fancy bougie office do you go to, Dom?
These are not real life scenarios, everyone.
all right. So I've got goblins taking over the break room.
Think of it, they took over your whole company. Let's say that. They took over your whole office.
And I have to
Now
argue
let's
why
change my
they
line
would
of
be
thinking. I
better
had
than
an answer for the
squirrels.
break room.
Why
I
they'd be
mean,
better than squirrels.
obviously they can at least a goblin has, I think, free will and autonomy, so they can like they could actually do some work. You know, you might be able to crowd them into a cubicle or an office or something, and actually get some work done. You got squirrels in your office, you're not getting any work done. Let's be real. They can't type. They can't lift anything. They couldn't load a truck.
Loading a truck is a qualification to work in your office.
Well, if we're doing business, if we're shipping product, if we're doing
Business, load the
something,
truck. Pick up these
imagine how many
papers.
squirrels. Imagine trying to train squirrels to load a truck. You wouldn't be able to do it. You could probably get some goblins to work together long enough if you promise them the right thing.
All right, not the best argument, but Chris, do you have anything for why squirrels would be better if they took over your office?
What is a man but 100 tiny squirrels inside him?
I don't know. I mean, a man?
I think that you can put enough squirrels into a trench coat that squirrels can perform the acts of man, and therefore squirrels would be best suited to replace the menial individuals who, work. Those of us that are workers. I think that you could just make a squirrel or a bunch of squirrels in a trench coat do an office job.
Okay.
Now, if you had just left it at the break room thing, the break room scenario, squirrels would be better because they could like get up into the axis.
Okay.
So I think they're multifaceted, right? Squirrels offer a lot of benefits everywhere, but mostly packing them into a trench coat and making a man out of them.
All right, Sam, can you bring us on home here? Who are you going to argue for? And please save the day here.
Mostly goblins, because as we previously established, they are just chaos is fun, and so if the criteria of success in a goblin office is just being chaotic, like you're gonna be the personality hire, and that's how you work your way up in a company run by goblins. Squirrels, I don't know what we're talking about with squirrels in a trench coat argument there, Chris.
Hey, it was an uphill battle. I mean, we established it with the slivers. Thumbs are a big deal here. Goblins, thumbs.
All right. I like Sam's argument the best. I think the trench coat was a good one, but I'm going to give it to the Gabos. I would rather work for an office of Gabos where it's chaotic and all I got to do is F some stuff up. I feel like it'd be a lot
I'm
like
just gonna
the...
lightning bolt that.
You do whatever you want, baby.
I think I have to lightning bolt that because otherwise I'm getting left behind here.
Are you lightning
And Mike's
bolting
out of
both
them.
people or one person?
I'm just gonna lightning bolt Mike. Sam can keep his point.
Right. Mike is going to lose a point to the lightning bolt. Alrighty, let us move on to the next one. The next prompt is going to be... I don't even know if I want to read these for you. I'm going to do 2 prompts for this game. The next one is Road Trip Mayhem. You're taking a cross-country road trip with squirrels or goblins. Who rides shotgun? What types of snacks are you having? What type of music are you listening to? And where are you stopping on your journey across country? Chris.
Nuts. Snacks are obviously nuts. If I have to defend the squirrels here, high school speech and debate class, whether I agree with it or not, I have to make the. If I'm on a road trip across the country with squirrels, in order to make it the best possible, or clearly nuts are the snack.
What type of
I think
nuts?
that you're stopping at every possible forest. I think culminating in Sequoia.
Oh, seeing
Right,
some
because those are the
nature.
biggest trees in the world.
Okay.
Probably a really nice Pacific Coast road trip. Maybe you start up in Olympia, work your way down through Oregon, hit all the volcanic mountains on your way through Northern California, Yosemite, finish in Sequoia. I think squirrels would enjoy the heck out of that. I have no idea what kind of music squirrels listen to, but I know that chipmunks are notoriously good at rock and roll. So I think that Alvin and the Chipmunks is probably gonna burn your eardrums and have to listen to
All right,
that
go into
for
the nuts. I'm a nut guy. So tell me more about what type of nuts you getting. Are you just getting generic gas station brand?
I'm a big
I got
fan
one.
of those like.
I got one nut on my mind, and if you say it, we don't even need to go into goblins.
Oh, let me just.
What?
No, honey roasted peanuts are big for me. Big fan of those.
Okay.
I'd probably go that way, but I don't know. Are you a chestnut guy, Dom?
No, and that wasn't the nut I was looking for. We're moving on to goblins. Goblins, Mike, give me your explanation why goblins are a better road trip partner. Where are you stopping? What music you listening to? What snacks you getting?
I mean, it seems like goblins are big Twinkie and beef jerky snackers.
Pinky's still around.
Sweet baby. I don't know, where are we going? We're going to the Badlands in South Dakota, I think. Have you guys ever been there?
No. Sounds like a
Next to
terrible
the,
spot.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. What is this light?
Dude, what is going on?
No, I think
Oh.
that looks like it's the thumbs up emoji thing.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, is
it's-
it? Do we have that?
Like if it reads a thumbs up, was that it? That's what it seemed like. It looked like it was like the bubble pop up of.
But like, why is it not popping up the bubble?
I don't know.
No, it's like a reflection off of Mike's window to his patio.
Well, but it's not. That's what I keep looking at.
We've run into some
Yeah, that
strange phenomenons.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, Sam, take us home. What do you got?
It's squirrels because listen, I have the honor of having 3 little goblins myself. Those are not my favorite road trip partners. So goblins or squirrels, they're going to be a little bit more chill. Nuts are a great snack. I like pistachios.
Great,
Do I need
great
to
nut.
keep
Not the
going?
nut still. It's
Okay,
it's
dang
a
it.
it's a miss. Really not a nut, but it's in the name.
I'm not even going to go for it. But yeah, squirrels.
Squirrels it is because it's corn nuts. Corn nuts are the best snack ever. Points to the squirrels team.
I was 12-year-old once, Dom.
Hy-Vee was selling everything bagel cashews. Did you guys see these?
Were they good?
No.
Did you get them?
I ate a whole tub in like a week. I thought they were incredible. Absolutely.
well,
incredible.
Everything
That sound-
bagel cashews. They come in like the what was the baseball tub that you'd sit on at baseball games?
Oh yeah.
The sunflower seed tub. Is it like that type of tub?
David's.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the one.
David's is the brand.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll have to check them out. You know what? Like side tangent here. I somehow like you like everything bagels one time in your life, and it feels like at some point you have like 3 everything bagel seasoning tubes. I have
Right,
so many of them, and I'm like, why? What am I going to use these on besides a bagel?
Eggs.
Oh shit! Yeah, good call. All right, doing that tomorrow morning. All right, point for you, Curry. Great idea. All right, the next round is a little different. We're gonna do Magic Card Pictionary, where you guys are gonna draw as many cards as you can in 60 seconds, and I'm gonna try guessing what card you're drawing. So for every card you get a point. We'll keep tally of it. I'm gonna zoom you in. We'll start with you, Sam. Bring the focus to you.
No. So as many
So
as possible.
draw something. You could draw CMCs. You can draw the picture, whatever. I'm gonna try to guess the card, and you go until the timer's up. Now I can't guarantee I know a lot of cards, so if you're smart, you'll base it off of things that I play.
So do we all have? Are we all gonna go in the same 1 minute and then share, or are we doing? Minute
No,
by
we're doing
minute?
1 minute for each person.
He's gonna guess while we draw, like.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna steal all of Sam's.
There's another rule, because I thought that'd be a clever idea, but since you said it, I'm making it a rule now. You can't take someone else's card that they chose.
Sucks.
Or cards. All right, your time starts now. Ooh, what do we got here? He's drawing lines. Looks like a smiley face.
Horsemanship.
Oh God. It got 4 legs. Got spurs on the legs. Wrath of God or Armageddon. Armageddon. Okay, 1. Move on. And you can say yes if I got it. You don't have to gesture.
Okay,
Sorry, keep going. All right,
you got
Armageddon.
it.
Oh, let's see here. This one's a little harder to see. Your number's in the way. Oh, okay. We got like a 3 looking. Oh, it's wings. It might be an angel. Goodness. Look, it definitely looks like an angel. Fallen angel. Oh, who's that angel you play? Why can't I remember their name? It's that commander that I hate. Red and black. My God.
Kalia?
Is it Kalia? No, not Kalia. Is it Kalia?
Kalia the Vast.
Okay, go with a 2. Move on to the next one.
Um,
I'll give you 10 more seconds because I held you up there. Let's see. Smiley face. Hair. 5, 4. Oh my God, what is this? Urza? I don't know. All right, your time's up. You get 2 points.
oh,
Alrighty, what was that last one?
I
Unless
was
you
going
want-
for brainstorm.
Oh, it looked like a baby. Not gonna lie. Hold on 1 second here. We're gonna shift over.
Ooh, that transition.
Alrighty. Ooh, shutting the background off so we can see. Let me start the timer here. Give me a second.
See here, Dom.
I can see. Yeah, ready, set, go. All right, we got a square. It's a beautiful square. There's 2 squares now. Something up top. It looks like a window maybe with a bird in it. Bring it closer to the camera so I can see.
Are you really drawing?
What is this? A
Come on,
sun?
Dom.
It's a planes.
Oh, it's a planes. It's literally a planes card. That's so smart. 1 point. Move on to the next one. Mike should be
Oh,
guessing.
are you gonna do them all? No.
That
Oh, what's
is
that
an
one?
island.
Dude, I'm gonna lightning bolt Chris on principle.
We'll get it after this. He's got 25 seconds left. That is
That one, Dom.
a mountain?
No, come on, don't be stupid.
What is that? It doesn't look like.
know
Oh,
the color
oh, it's
order?
a swamp.
That's a horrible skull.
That's a
Chris.
horrible skull. I might
Shut
take a
up.
point away for that artwork. You got 10 seconds. You better get this card out. I don't know which one it's gonna be.
It should be the forest.
It's
'cause
gonna be.
actually,
What is that? An island or plains?
the mountain. I was just gonna say the
Mountain?
mountain symbol's really hard
What is
to
that?
draw.
All right, your time's up. I'm gonna give you.
No, no.
No, you're done.
Nope.
Time is up.
I drew a forest, so I can't draw a forest.
It's he could start off with it. We're gonna make new rules for this game. All right, you get 4 points, but you're getting lightning bolted as well.
No, I'm gonna use my fog and prevent the loss of points.
All right, and that's your last thing. So you get 4 points. You are down So Sam has one more sideboard he can use. Alrighty. And I will start your time in a second, Mike. Ooh, this game's getting heated. Also, there's one more round in round 3, just so everyone knows. Okay, Mike, I will start your time right now. What do you got for us? We got a circle, beautiful circle.
Famous circle in Magic.
Circle of protection white? Circle of protection
Yeah.
black? What is this? What's
Sword.
going on? This one?
That was it.
What the fuck?
That's actually a good strategy. Draw bullshit, and whatever he guesses, just say, "Yep, that was it."
Yeah, that's it. Right.
It is the
There
thumbs
it is!
emoji. The
There
thumbs
it is!
emoji. Yes. We got 30 seconds.
Oh, that was it. It kept coming up, but that was on blur.
You've got
That's
25
what I'm
seconds.
saying.
We found out your alert.
I was gonna do
Shut up. Shut up.
look at that.
What is that?
Oh, that one's good.
Lightning bolt.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Those
You
were
got
the
5
two I
seconds
had.
left.
Oh wait, you said circle of protection here.
And that's your time. We're giving you 2.
Cool.
All right, let's get back to the main game show screen here. We've got one more round, and it is called Flavor Text Flavor. I'm gonna shift over. Give me 1 second. You guys might see this on your end. Move the points over. I didn't think we'd get this high in points, to be honest with you. We'll leave it like this for now. I'll correct it in a future date. Flavor text flavor. These italicized gems don't affect gameplay, but they absolutely shape the soul of the card. Whether it's a goblin's last words, a planeswalker's snarky quip, or a cryptic prophecy, flavor text adds depth, humor, and lore. I'm going to show you guys cards with flavor text on it. You're each going to get a chance to read it, and I'm going to choose who I like, who read it the best and I like. So you're trying to appeal to me. All right, and the first card we have is Assassinate. Hone the inner Assassinate. Can you guys all see that flavor text?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, we're going to go left from right this one. Mike, you start off, read the flavor text. Yeah, give it your best, baby.
This is how wars are won. Not with armies of soldiers, but with a single knife blade artfully placed.
Very nice. Chris, what do you got for us?
Hey, I'm walking here. Sorry,
That's
no,
not what it
not
says.
good. Bummer. This is how wars are won. Not with armies of soldiers, but with a single knife blade artfully placed. Yeah, I missed it. I missed it. I'm not getting the point.
All right, Sam. All right, Sam, read it for us.
This is how wars are won. Not with armies of soldiers, but with a single knife blade artfully placed.
Ooh, pretty good. But I'm going to give it to Mike on that one. Point for Mike. And we'll
It's just
move
'cause
on.
He talked close to the mic seductively.
It was
That's why you
nice.
gave it to
It
him.
was nice. It doesn't work for every card, though. All right, the next one is Fallen Angel, and we'll start with you, Chris.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get a read through it first.
You should do a line
Why
read.
do you
should
weep
read it
for the
first.
dead? I rejoice, for they have died for me.
All right, Sam, what do you got?
Do you weep for the dead? I rejoice, for they have died for me.
Ooh, those are 2 good ones. Mike, what do you got?
Why do you weep for the dead? I rejoice, but they've died for me.
All right, I like it. I'm going to say it was a close race, though. Chris, I like the voice. But Sam, I liked your delivery just a tad bit more.
Guys, I
Point.
think we all need to go into voice acting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Without a doubt. Sam, you're going to start here with Mirror Guardian.
But still the sunken stars appear in dark and windless Mirror. There lies his crown in water deep till Durin wakes again from sleep.
Very nice. All right, Mike, you're up next.
But still the sunken stars appear in dark and windless mirror. There lies his crown in water deep, till Durin wakes again from sleep.
Okay, not bad. Chris, take us home.
But still the sunken stars appear in dark and windless mirror. There lies his crown in waters deep, till Durin wakes again from sleep.
Well, Chris, you hit the nail on the head. I was looking for a song. You get 2 for doing just that. That's Gimli's song, everyone. That takes the points. Mike is at 10. Chris, you're at 12, and Sam, you're at 12. But that's not all, everyone. We have one more. And there's no flavor text on this one. This is the new Swords to Plowshares from Final Fantasy. And you're going to make your own flavor text. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to think, and then we'll start with you, Mike. Whenever you're ready.
I don't know. I don't know where to go with it. I don't like the cut of their jib. Plowshares, exile target creature.
Gentle smile, soft laughter. Think of a nice flavor text for this one. Remember, Swords of Plowshares is an instant. Exile target creature, its controller gains life equal to its power.
Not goodbye. It's see you later.
Okay, good one. All right, Chris, you're next.
Hey, I'm walking here.
So cringy. Every time.
Did you know that he actually almost got hit by a car in that scene and they left it in? And that's why he said that. All right, Sam, take us home.
With the power of friendship, we can convince the bad guys to be good again. I don't know. Dude, I was going for some anime thing. I have no idea.
Oh, man. Well, because that's the last question, and I don't have any way to take a tiebreaker away.
Well, I've got a lightning bolt, so I can just...
Oh, true. Mike's getting the point. Mike's getting the point, and Sam's the only one with the lightning bolt.
So I'll lightning bolt Chris so I can take the dub.
In fairness to Chris, he got bolted 4 times, so he would have 15 points.
That's true. That is true. I think, does that mean that Chris is like the real low-key winner?
No. This is Man of Mayhem, baby.
Losing 4 points though, so that did help.
Oh,
so, Dom,
man.
trivia question for you, since you brought up a sword. There are ungodly numbers of Swords to Plowshares. There's of it. Do you know which set the first Swords to Plowshares had flavor text on it?
Onslaught.
Ice Age.
Okay. There's an Onslaught one, right?
I don't know. I was on Scryfall. I was gonna cheat. I was gonna look for flavor text on Scryfall and read flavor text, and then I just did the call back to, "Hey, I'm walking here."
All right. Into the champion. He is our champion of the first ever Man of Mayhem. All you others are losers. Well, thank you guys so much for joining and playing the first ever Man of Mayhem MTG sort of kind of almost trivia show where we basically just get to goof around and have fun and hopefully learn a little something. Sam, anything to say from our winner before we sign off?
This is Mono White's on the comeback, so it's why I took game 1. Mono White Monster, come at me.
Love it. Well, thank you everyone if you're watching this video. If you have anything to say, make sure you put "well, actually" in the comments to tell us we're wrong about something, because we love to hear it. But thank you everyone, and this is a sign off. See you guys later.